I'm a spirit channeler and oracle card reader who channels both light and shadow energies in my readings, which means if you're easily triggered, please find yourself another reader. Hey everyone, welcome back. So today's reading will be on the topic of what does my crush really think of me? So it is imperative that you think of your crush specifically when choosing your pals, especially if you have multiple crushes. You can indeed use this reading to find out what multiple crushes think of you, but you would need to think of each of them in turn and pick which pile or which crystal is calling you for each of them in turn. It is also possible that multiple crushes could be in the same pile because there are only 5 piles, and this is a general reading. This time around, I thought it would be rather interesting to only give you guys black crystals to choose from. This is going to push your intuition a little bit more to figure out which pile is yours. So you have 5 piles to choose from left to right, pile 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pause the video if you need some more time to choose your pile, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, pal number 1. Welcome to your reading. So, what does your crush think of you? So, the energy in this reading is very, very, very intense. I am feeling a lot of fiery, passionate energy. So, this person, your crush, is crushing on you back a lot, like a lot. Like the intensity is super fiery. It's like a furnace. It's like sexual, lustful, love, all of it mixed together, infatuation. It's almost like an obsession. It's like a pull that your crush has towards you from their sacral chakra and even their solar plexus, that and their heart chakra. It's intense. So quite frankly, I'm pretty sure you already know that this person is head over heels for you and has the hots for you. I guess you're just here to get a little bit more information, because there's absolutely no way that someone who's feeling all of this could hide all of it. Maybe he or she is hiding a good chunk of it and you feel that they like you, but you just don't know the extent of it. But there's absolutely no way someone who's feeling all of this that I'm feeling from them could be completely hiding it from you, and you would have absolutely no idea that they have the hots for you. So now the first card we have is the Femme Fatale next to Companion. Need I say more? Femme Fatale says, highlights the erotic energy of the feminine, opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. They see you as such an allure, someone who they can't get away from. It's like someone who is a forbidden fruit. It's very carnal, very, very, very carnal. They see you as super sensual and alluring. They just have a strong pull to you. It's just a lot of erotic energy that comes from you and a lot of erotic energy that they have towards you. With the Companion, they see you as someone that they want to spend a lot of their time with. They also see you as someone that they want to touch a lot often. I mean, I guess that's kind of obvious, but it's more than just sexual touching. Of course, he or she definitely wants to do that to you, definitely. But there's also a hugging, a caressing, a holding your hand, a brushing your cheek, brushing your hair like with their hands. They want to like caress you lightly and of course sexually and a bit more forcefully. This person is able to do both. They're able to be very gentle with you in public, and they're able to be very carnal and aggressive when not in public, but in a good way, if that's what you're into. But you're probably going to have to be with this person, because especially if it's a male, because he is very dominant alpha male with a lot of energy and vigor. So we have the Advocate and the Beggar. They see you as someone who is very empathic, someone who is very fair, because we also have that reiterated with the Judge card. They see you as someone who is very good at making decisions when it comes to other people and situations in other people's lives and situations between people. And I'm seeing that with these four cards: the Advocate, Beggar, Networker, and Judge. You are someone who they could come to for advice. If they're having an argument with a friend or a business partner or a family member, or if a friend of theirs is having an argument or disagreement with their romantic partner, or etc., etc., or if two of their employees or coworkers are having an issue, they can come to you and give you the details and explain the story to you, and they trust that you are going to give a very objective and intelligent and empathic and fair opinion, and they are going to take your advice to heart, and they're most of the time they're going to act on it when it directly involves them. They're also the person who could, like, if their friend comes to them and says, hey man, like, I'm fighting a lot with my wife or whatever, like, he would go to you with the details that his friend told you and get you to pretty much judge the situation and give the advice. Or he would even recommend that you go in to talk to the two of them to judge the situation and to give advice and to fix things, because you are very objective, you are very empathic, but also not super attached to outcomes of other people. So you feel for them, you want to help them, but if they don't take your advice, you're very cutthroat. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. Like the if you ever saw the Divergent movies or read the books, it's kind of like candor mixed with abnegation. It's like if two of them had a baby, that would be you. So you're going to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And if they don't like the truth, then they're just going to take the truth and leave your presence and not ask you for any more truths again, because they're not going to waste your time. But simultaneously, you're going to, be a little bit soft about it and say, listen, I understand what's going on. I feel your pain. You might even be able to explain to them why they are going through some things, like why they might be thinking some things. Like, if a couple are fighting, you'll be able to see it. Listen, I think that you are upset at her, or I think that you are upset at him because deep down you are seeing this action that they are doing as meaning something else, and this wound is connected to this. So the solution to this is for you to work on this wound and for you guys to do this A, B, and C. Like you guys, if you guys are not a psychologist or a counselor of some sort, or a social worker of some sort, or a judge or a lawyer, or some sort of advocate, if you guys are not in this field, I think you need to reconsider your career field, because you have a very strong knack for this, and anyone you come into contact with picks up on it almost immediately, and this crush of yours has definitely picked up on it. So don't be surprised if he or she comes to you frequently for advice about things that are going on in his or her life, or even comes to you for advice about things that are going on in their friend's life and stuff. They really, really trust your advice, and you also help them to be a little bit more empathic when it comes to other people. You help them to be able to see other people's different points of view where they might miss it. And you also help them to be a little bit more firm in their decisions, because if they feel like, I need to make this decision, but it's a little bit of a harsh one, if they come to you and they give you the situation and you come to the same conclusion, they're going to be 100% confident in that decision, 100%. So, that was very important for me to tell you, because we have like 4 cards in a row that are basically all saying that. So that's very, very important. Aside from all this sexual energy and erotic energy that I'm feeling coming from them, it's very important that you know that they see you as a very strong confidant, who they definitely want to sleep with. They definitely want to be in a long-term relationship with you. And at the very, very least, if something went wrong and you guys were no longer in a romantic relationship, this person would still want to be able to contact you from time to time, text you from time to time to seek some help and some advice. They really, really admire you a lot. So let's just say that. But they would not want to give you up without a fight. So here we have, yeah, the thinking man and the woman holding a coin in reverse. I'm also picking up again, you guys are highly intelligent with that thinking man thing. Some of you guys have traditional education, which is what I pick up a bit more with that thinking man. But this is a general reading. If you don't have like traditional higher education, you have some you have a more evolved philosophical mind that could see from higher perspectives. But they find you very intelligent regardless. But they also find you a little stubborn. So this is kind of weird. And I mean, I understand this energy. This is kind of like a scorpionic energy. You guys may have a strong Scorpio placement in your chart. This is just Scorpio energy right here. Like with the femme fatale, that's Scorpio. With the the empathic abilities, that's very Scorpio. But then with being very cutthroat and firm and fixed, that is Scorpio. So I would be surprised if you guys do not have a strong Scorpio placement. But you guys are giving and flexible, but you're still firm simultaneously. So they find you stubborn. You guys have a fixed sign, and for life of me, I can never remember all of them, so I'm going to write them on the screen now. You guys have a fixed sign in either your moon, your sun, or your ascendant. You guys may also have a Pisces in some strong placement as well. And Aries, I'm picking up. So I can't remember if Aries is a fixed sign. If it is on the screen, then I apologize for saying it again, but I'm picking up Aries, Pisces, Scorpio, and then the fixed signs. So anyways, you guys are very firm. And you guys are very secretive. Again, that's very Scorpio energy, secretive again. So they see you as someone who holds back. It's like they talk more than you do when you guys are together. Because like here we have the thinking man who's just like, talking and giving his feelings and his opinions and stuff, and then here we have the woman in it holding a coin in reverse, who's kind of like a little bit more reserved and is just like listening and saying and absorbing all the information and calculating stuff in her head, but is not repeating it out loud. And I clarified the woman holding a coin in reverse with tarot with the Poe, and I got the Ace of Swords in reverse. So again, that tells me that you guys are highly intelligent. You can see from higher perspectives, but with that being in reverse, you guys are very stern and stubborn, because you guys are able to see from higher perspectives and more intelligent perspectives than the average person, so that by the time you feel a situation out, you have your decision. You know what's happening. You guys may be psychic or very intuitive, but by the time you feel out a situation, or by the time you get information, you know what needs to be done. You know what it is, essentially. You know what's happening. And if someone tries to tell you otherwise, it's very much a no. So you guys are flexible, but at the same time, you're very inflexible. Again, I'm sorry, very Scorpio energy here. Very, very. So they see you as that. I hope that made sense. But they see you as like an alpha female. If you're a female watching this, they see you as an alpha female. And this guy's coming off as an alpha male too. I'm picking up male energy, of course, but you switch the genders. This is a general reading. But the crush is, I'm picking up heavy alpha male energy, very fiery. He might have fire in his chart, like very strongly in the moon, sun, or ascendant. And he also sees you as an alpha female. So he likes that. He sees you as his equal, but at the same time, he kind of sees you as a little bit on a pedestal in a way. And it's not like something to do with money. It's more to do with your evolution or your intelligence or your emotional intelligence or your ability to control your emotions or to be objective. It's something along those lines that's the reason why they see you as slightly on a pedestal. But for the most part, other than that part, they see you as their equal. They see you as not someone they can boss around, not someone who they can like use and discard. You are very firm about what you would need if this relationship was going to further, and they need to meet those needs or they're going to be kicked out the door, and they know this, so they need to buckle down and be serious. This guy could very well be someone who was a player in his 20s. I don't know how old he is, but in his past he may have been someone who was a little bit more loose. But when it comes with you, he's very firm and devoted and focused, because he doesn't want to lose you, and he knows that you will kick him out the door if he F's up. So if you guys aren't in a relationship yet, this is the energy that's going to be in the relationship when you guys do get in a relationship. He's going to not want to mess with you, basically. And yeah, you guys are a little stubborn, but he likes it. He likes that stubbornness of you, but he finds it very alluring and secretive. He also finds it a bit of a challenge. Like, how much information can I get her to give me? How much can I get her to budge? But not in a manipulative way where some people are trying to get you to budge on your boundaries. It's more of a, how much can I get her to budge in a way that would be good for me, but would also be good for her? So like, say for example, he's asking you, hey, let's go out on a date, and you keep saying no. He's going to say, how can I get her to budge to go out on a date with me? Or if he's asking you to make things official, do you want to be my girlfriend? You say no. How can I make her budge to do this? So it's kind of like that. It's not like trying to get you to budge on things that you shouldn't be doing, just for his benefit. So and he sees that as a challenge as well. So with this happy family card and the anxiety card in reverse, he sees you as a long-term companion. I did pick that up with the companion card at the top. I did mention that already. I'm seeing that once again with the happy family. So he, in addition to fantasizing about you very carnally and sexually and passionately and lustfully, in addition to that, he's also fantasizing about putting a ring on your finger and moving you into his home and having children with you and brushing your hair like with his fingers, like when you sleep. For some reason I keep seeing that. I think he likes your hair. So he's fantasizing about both, about laying you down very roughly in bed, and in addition to that, getting down on a knee, putting a ring on your finger, and like treating you with lots of care and soft affection long term. And with the anxiety card in reverse, he's kind of anxious about it. He's kind of stressed that you're not going to want the same things. So you kind of stress him out a bit. Like, this guy has a lot of emotions when it comes to you. This person, you stress them out, and you also do all the aforementioned things. So like, when you guys are not together, or when you're taking too long to respond to text messages or something like that, or when they say, hey, what are you doing? Are you busy this weekend? Because they want to do something. You say, yeah, I'm busy. They're going to, all of a sudden their mind's going to race. They're going to say, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. He has someone else, or she has someone else. Oh crap. And if you are a Scorpio, then the chances are, if they ask you, what are you doing? And you don't want to tell them, you're just not going to tell them. And that's going to stress them out even more. So be mindful of that. The less information you give this person and the less you allow them into your life is proportionate to the more stressed out and anxious this person is going to be. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but it's kind of funny. So, um, the Garden in the Gate and the contract in reverse. Okay, again, I'm seeing stubbornness here again. This is repeated. And there's something here again with the Garden in the Gate and the woman holding a coin in reverse. You guys are stubborn about something to do with either your finances or your home or your routine. It's either your finances, your home, your routine, or all of the above. You do not want to budget, especially not for someone who you just met or someone who you're not in a relationship with yet or something like that. You want to stay in your own apartment. You don't want to move in with him in his big luxurious condo, if he does have one, because he seems like he makes a good amount of money, this guy. But again, general reading here. You don't want to, even if he has the biggest mansion, you don't want to leave your condo or your apartment. If you have a certain schedule and he says, I'm free this day, it would be nice if you could also free up your schedule to be free on this day so we could spend some time together. If you're very firm about your schedule and you're like, no, I work this way and I work better on these days and I prefer to have my days off be these days, you are not really going to budge on switching your days off to accommodate him. So you guys are very, very stubborn. Again, you have some sort of fixed sign in a strong placement here. Like this, it's impossible that you guys don't have a fixed sign in a strong placement in your chart. And yeah, he sees that as something a hurdle to tackle, but you do frustrate him. So this guy has this person has a lot of emotions when it comes to you. You definitely do frustrate them. But again, here with the Envy card in reverse and the Caring Connections upright, I'm seeing that their goal for you is to get you to stop focusing on other people or stop focusing on your own independent life, your bachelorette life or your bachelor life, and to focus on coming into union, long-term connected and committed union with him or her. That's what their goal is. And you seem rather distracted. I'm seeing that here. You seem rather distracted. You have your own life going on. You're very, 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 very independent. And you're someone who, it's like, with all that independence that you have and all those boundaries that you have, it's hard to get you to like shift it and mold it into someone else. But at the same time, he seems like he has like a very demanding job or something like that that doesn't allow him to have too much flexibility, and he needs you to give a little if he's going to give a little. And his long-term goal is to get you guys to merge together again with that companion card and the Caring Connections, is to get your lives to merge together. So there may be some sort of issue, like maybe this guy or this girl lives in another city or something like that, or maybe they're frequently traveling, or maybe you're the one who's frequently traveling, or maybe you want to live in a certain city but he or she wants to live in another one, and then you guys are kind of like fighting about that. Like, you're just like, he's like, hey, move with me to this city because this is my permanent residence, this is where I live. Like, especially if you guys meet when he's like on a business trip in your city, and then you guys are talking whatever, and then at some point he might be like, let's move to my city, come live with me, and you're going to be like, no. and unfortunately you're like a plane ride away or something like that, or a long drive away, and it's a little, the situation is a little trying to fit two pieces of a puzzle, like two people who are their own people, trying to fit them together, and also trying to get the female in this equation to budge. So yeah, that's how they feel about you. Definitely they have long-term plans for you, and they definitely fantasize about you a lot sexually, probably have a lot of dreams about you. And they fantasize simultaneously about, like I said, the carnal stuff, but also about long-term, having you, home when he gets home, or having you there permanently. So I'm just going to just see if there's any last thing that the Poe wants to say before I close out your reading. Yeah, okay, I'm seeing that again. He needs you to see another perspective here. He needs you to give a little. With this Two of Pentacles in reverse and the Hanged Man in reverse, you guys, there's something about the both of your schedules and your lifestyles that is not really working together. Ten of Pentacles again. This is building a long-term committed family with a lot of financial stability here. So I'm telling you, this guy makes a good amount of money. And look, I can't make this up, guys. Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and you have woman holding a coin here in reverse. Like, seriously. And underneath the deck, you have the Judgment card. Trying to get you guys to balance your schedules and to balance your independent lives together, and for you to see his perspective and to want to, like, you can see his perspective because, like I said, you have this higher intelligence, but you're stubborn. So it's like a little bit of a balancing act here. Your relationship, when you guys do get into a relationship, it's going to be this kind of juggle and this kind of balancing act. And here again, Ten of Pentacles, and we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And here we have the happy family, which I see as kind of like the Ten of Cups energy, or even Ten of Pentacles. And then we have the woman holding a coin in reverse, which is basically like the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, just in oracle form. And they're right next to each other again in the same positions. So he wants a long-term commitment with you, but you are too independent. That's essentially what the issue is here. You are very, very, very stubborn. Very, very alluring. He's afraid you have too many other options for mates, and that's stressing him out, and he wants to snatch you up quickly and take you off the market quickly, but you are very independent and stubborn. It's frustrating. So yeah, those are your messages. I hope that resonated, and I hope that helps you. Let me know if it did, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, pal number 2. Welcome to your reading. Hey, pal 2. I just realized after filming your reading that your stone was off camera the entire time. So I would just like you to see and confirm that if you pick this stone, this is indeed your pal 2. So what does your crush really think of you? So we start off with the Secret card and the Knight. Now, we also have this Teacher card here. You guys are very smart. They think that you're very smart. They think that you're very charming. They think that you love helping people. Again, that's reiterated with the Child Eternal card and the Child Wounded card. You definitely like seeking wisdom and knowledge, and you like reteaching that, to turning around and teaching that to other people, the things that you've learned. This is a combination, though, of life experience as well as traditional education. So you guys may very well be a teacher who work with kids specifically. I don't see you working with adults if you're a teacher. You may also work around children in some other capacity, but they see you as having a very gentle nature. You guys are very gentle regardless of what you do for a living. So the thing is, though, they see you as a scared puppy. You know the scared puppies at the dog shelter or the animal shelter who have been traumatized? They're a little bit older. They're not like brand new like babies, but they're still really young. They've been traumatized from their last owner. They were abandoned from their last owner. They were found on the street. Someone picked them up, brought them to the animal shelter, and now they're still a little skittish when it comes to people. That's how they see you. Because with this Child Eternal card and the Child Wounded card, something definitely happened in your past, and I feel like it stems from childhood. And in addition to that, there may be also some things in your adult life that occurred, but definitely this started in childhood. Most of this wound came from childhood, like almost all of it. At least 80% of this wound came from childhood. Something about the life you grew up in was unsafe and unstable. For some of you, I saw sexual assault. Others of you, it was abandonment. I'm seeing like you were put in foster care or orphanage or something, or you were given to a relative, an aunt or a grandmother to take care of you, and your parents weren't there. So there's some sort of neglect or abandonment or sexual assault I'm seeing, but it could be any kind of child abuse because this is a general reading, but those are specifically the three ones I'm seeing. And now you have lots and lots of trust issues, and you're very skittish when it comes to people. You're also probably very skittish when it comes to men. This is a general reading, so you can make the genders apply to you as you will. But I'm seeing a skittish female who's afraid of men and who's afraid of intimacy and love because she didn't get intimacy and love when she was a child. She didn't get real love when she was a child, and she may have gotten forced intimacy as a child, if you know what I mean. And now she's blocked off. She has a blocked. It's weird. She has a blocked. Okay, her heart chakra is not blocked. Her heart chakra is darkened. It has some dark matter in it, but it's very, very open simultaneously. It's kind of odd. Well, it's not odd, but it's like a paradox in a way. You don't let people get close to you, but you get close to other people in order to help them freely. But I feel like even the people who you do help, you limit that. So you definitely love helping children because children are innocent. Even if a child does something wrong, they can be corrected. You can teach them, and chances are if they did that wrong thing, they picked it up from an adult or another child who then picked it up from an adult or something like that. Like it could be traced and it could be fixed in children. So which is why I feel I have a hard time believing you work with adults. If you don't work with children, this is where you thrive. This is literally where you thrive. You need to be around children. So that's just an extra, if you're wondering which career path to take, I highly recommend something that requires you to work around children. Also, like a social worker who specializes in children's cases, anything to do with children. So there you go. So they see you as very cute. You're coming off very cute. Whereas the last pile, they were coming off very sexual and hot. You're coming off very girlish and cute. Very that natural beauty who doesn't really need to wear a lot of makeup. And then when she smiles, it's just so cute. It's like that. And, so they definitely like you because they find you very cute, but at the same time they see that you're very skittish. So with this Angel of Balance card here and the strategy in reverse, they need to switch up their strategy when it comes to you. And I did clarify that, and I got the Ace of Swords and Ace of Cups, which just reiterated what I had already thought. They need a new plan, a new course of action, and a new way of dealing with your emotions. They need to adjust the amount of compassion and emotions that they give off to you. Whereas like with other girls or other people, when you're first starting to talk with someone, you would let them know, of course, that you like them, but you wouldn't really be super vulnerable with them at the beginning. Because you guys have just met and you need to get more comfortable with each other. There's something here about this person needing to readjust the way they usually court when it comes to you. Their old ways of courting does not exactly work with you. It just makes you put a barrier up between you and them. So there's something about them having to readjust their plan, readjust their tactics, and readjust the way they give emotions, the way they receive your emotions, the way they interact with your emotions, and also your boundaries, the way they interact with your boundaries. Whereas with maybe other prospects in the past, they would have pressured them a little bit more. Like if they say like, come on, let's go out this weekend, or let's go here, or let's go do this, let's go somewhere where there's a lot of people in public. And with you, if you say no, I don't really want to go there because there are too many people, he just stops and says okay, and he picks something else that's more quiet, because there's no kind of trying to get you to, like, there's no like come on with you, or else you're just going to run away. So he needs to adjust. He's not coming off, I say that and you might think, oh, he's controlling or manipulative. That, no, people in general, but especially men, if this is a male you're inquiring about, they need to, traditionally they chase women. It's in their blood, it's in their DNA. And if she says no, or she's like a little bit uncertain, she's teeter-tottering, that's the cue for them to maybe be a little bit more firm or a little bit more suggestive in some sort of way to get the teeter-tottering to move to a yes. But with you, it appears as though if you're teeter-tottering, they need to not try to get you to teeter over to their side. They themselves need to move over to your totter, if that makes any sense. So like a concrete example is, again, let's go out to dinner. Oh, let's go to Jack's Diner. I've just made that up. Let's go to Jack's Diner. And you're just like, no, there are too many people. But that's your favorite place to go. You always take new dates there. You love, sorry, not you, the guy or the crush. He loves going there. He always takes new dates there, or they love going there. But you say no. And it's not like, come on, they have the best food in town. It's more like, okay, how about Jill's Diner, which is much more smaller, much more intimate. This crush of yours rarely goes there, or probably has never been there before, or like, usually doesn't like going to those kind of places or something. But you're like, yes, or okay. Or if they say, let's go out to a bar for a first date, and you're just like, no, I want to, like, I don't know, let's just walk in the park or something, which he has never done before, but he's just going to say okay for you. So it's kind of like readjusting his tactics when you're teeter-tottering to instead of pull you towards him the way guys usually do, it's more of put him moving towards you. Hopefully that made sense. So with this happy family card here, and the victory and the healer of the ages, you guys definitely have a lot of healing to do, like a lot of healing to do. We have this child eternal card, and we have the child wounded card, and then we have the healer of the ages. I mean, you guys have a lot of wounds that need to be healed. And that's just the matter of fact. You're never going to have a very fulfilling and trusting relationship until you heal these wounds. So that is on you if you want a relationship, whether it's with this person or anyone in the future. It's a long process, I know. I'm not saying it's easy, but you need to actually put your foot down, maybe seek counseling, go see a counselor or something like that, to actually heal these wounds that you're burying. It seems like you're trying to not deal with these old wounds, but you're trying to repurpose them into helping other people. And I'm really seeing children, but it could be it could even be adults, or it could be specific people, like women. It's either women or children who you have an affinity to helping. Or it could be people who are disabled or old, a group of people who are not dominant, who are usually prone to being victims. You are prone to wanting to help them. So that should be your career path, if that isn't already your career path. And it seems like you repurposed your old wound and tried to put it towards helping people, which is good, and it's good, but it's not perfect. The problem is that you never really fully addressed your old wounds, so your wounds don't disappear. It's just that doing these things that you're doing for these people is soothing the wound. It's like if you have an open wound that needs to be stitched up, but you're never stitching it up, but you're still always applying salve. It's like you're always applying salve over it that cools it and calms it down. That's what what you're doing here. That's what it is. And it could go on for years and years where you don't feel that burn anymore. You don't feel the burn from the wound anymore. It doesn't bleed because you're always putting that salve over it. But, it's not the same as completely stitching it up. So you guys need to completely stitch that up some way. So this person, your crush, they are serious about you. But right now, they don't exactly know where this is going to go. Like, they're not someone who's just trying to come into your life, you know, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. That's not going to work for you or with you. They definitely... Oh my God, I was fiddling with the tarot and I pulled the Lover's card. So I think that came out to correct me. Because what I was saying is that they're seeing where it goes. Like, they have intentions to be serious with you, but they can't exactly see long term because of your blocks. That's what I was originally saying, and I do feel like that is the truth for some of you. But I feel like this card came out to say that actually, for the majority of you, it's your crush actually wants to have a long-term commitment with you. They want to marry you. They want to be with you forever. For most of you guys, that they actually do. But there's a block between now, the crushing stage, the courting stage, and then the long-term commitment marriage stage. There is a block, a hurdle that they need to hurdle over, and they're trying their best to hurdle over it. And then, like I said, for a small percentage of you guys, they are serious about going steady with you and being in a real relationship with you, but they can't see the super long-term future, but they are serious. So yeah, let's just see finally if there's any last messages okay. Oh my gosh, Hierophant. You guys are very intuitive. You guys may be Pisces. I'm picking up heavy Pisces here. I honestly, you could be Cancer or Scorpio, but heavy Pisces. You have a Pisces in Sun, Moon, or Rising, or at least a Cancer or a Scorpio. Tower. My goodness gracious. Okay, so with the Lovers being next to the Hierophant, that's again is reiterating that they definitely want a long-term relationship with you. Some of you guys, this seems to be coming out kind of randomly. Some of you guys actually had an issue with an old romantic partner, like a husband or a wife who you actually married or who you were in a long-term relationship with. So yes, you did have wounds from childhood, but in addition to that, your last relationship ended badly. Lovers, Hierophant, and the Tower. Some of you guys, the main reason why you're skittish, in addition to whatever happened in your childhood, is the fact that your old romantic partner, fucked you over in some way. They seriously broke your heart in some way. And now you're just here with this 9 of Wands in reverse. You're just giving up, pretty much. You're just saying, I'm staying single. I'm staying in my barriers here. Because every time I try to step outside of my barriers and let people in, they just keep hurting my heart. And I keep having these Tower moments where I'm blindsided by, look, we have the Tower and the Death. Heavy Pisces and Scorpio here. Heavy Pisces and Scorpio. So you might say like, oh, every time I try to let people in romantically, I'm blindsided by their treachery. And especially if you guys are empaths, especially you're probably attracting narcissists. So probably your last couple of relationships were with a narcissist, or men who were toxic, or women who were toxic. And now you're just like, I'm always attracting these kinds of people. I need to just stay alone. So for a good chunk of you guys, this is coming out now. This is what is, in addition, this is an extra problem here that is happening. With that Death card, there's a need to transform your barriers and to move outside of your barriers and to break them down, but not break them down like just to be stupid and foolish, like the Fool card. It's to heal them. So it's like, instead of like breaking those barriers, it's more like healing the barriers so that they dissolve. Yeah. Dissolve the barriers. That's what I should say. Okay, and I just pulled here the King of Wands. I do feel this guy or this girl, this crush of yours, is actually a good person who can help you do that with that King of Wands. They seem to be someone who is very, especially again with that Knight card here, they seem to be someone who is very and also with the man holding a coin here underneath here, they seem to be someone who is very serious about protecting any female that they're with, any woman that they're with. and especially you. It's like you are there, you take their protective mode and you put it on overdrive. They already had that protective mode, but with you, it's on overdrive and it's slightly different. It's an emotional protection and less to do with a physical, I need to protect you from danger, protect type of protection. It's like I need to protect you from heartbreak or emotional upset kind of protection. Here, I pulled the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. What I'm seeing from this is that he needs to help you uproot these treacheries, these toxic memories, these trauma. He needs to help you uproot the trauma. And he's willing for it, to do it. He's up to the task with the King of Wands here in the Knight. He's definitely, and the man holding a coin. And look, and the Emperor. Come on. He's up to the task. You should take this guy seriously. And look, I can't make this up. I think I'm going to end the reading here, but I can't make this up. Underneath the deck, we have the King of Cups. Seriously here. Emperor, King of Cups, man holding a coin, the Knight, the King of Wands, the Lovers, a Hierophant. This guy's serious about you, and the happy family here. He is serious. He really is serious. So you need to take him seriously yourself. So those are your messages. I hope that helped you and I hope it resonated. Let me know if it did, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, pal number 3. Welcome to your reading. So what does your crush really think of you? So I want to mention that with these archetype cards, I do not put them in the direction that they come out of the deck in. I read these cards intuitively. So all of these cards could have very well come out in reverse, but I just didn't notice because I don't pay attention to that with these cards. I pay attention to it with the tarot and this oracle, but not with those. So all of these cards could have very well come out in reverse. But what I am telling you now is that they all are in reverse. So we are reading the shadow attributes of absolutely all of these archetype cards here for your crush. The thing about this group is that this is not so much what your crush, I mean, it is, of course, what your crush thinks of you, but it's less to do what your crush thinks of you, and it's more to do with your crush, him or her self. Okay? So all of these archetype cards are more describing your crush and are less describing you. So let's get going. We have addict. Shadow attributes, compromises integrity and honesty, allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. Now, I just want to mention for the other groups, I didn't read all of them, but for you, I feel like it's necessary for you to really get this. We have that next to goddess. Exploitation of the female nature and form. We have the healer shadow attributes, taking advantage of those who need help, failing to care for oneself. Gambler shadow, relying on luck rather than hard work. Don Juan shadow, using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. And finally, bully shadow, conceals deep fears behind verbal and physical abuse. Your person is a toxic narcissist. Okay, they are addicted. I'm going to keep talking about this person as if it's a male because I'm seeing male energy here with the addict next to the goddess, with the Don Juan, which is the male, as opposed to the femme fatale, which is the female version. And we have man holding a coin here. Make the genders resonate for you. You can switch it, but I'm going to keep talking about this dude. He has a sex addict. He has what am I saying? He has a sex addiction. Oh, sorry. I guess I need to take a sip of water. Yeah, I guess this person's energy is kind of baffling me a bit. He has a sex addiction. And he has an addiction to females in general. You are absolutely not the only female that he is talking to, not the only one who he is courting, not the only one who he's flirting with, not the only one who he's having sex with. Not at all. At all. I don't care what he tells you. You are not the only one. He has a sex addiction. He has an addiction to being manipulative and controlling people and using them for his gains and then discarding them, but still keeping them on his contact list so he can contact them again. It's not like a complete discarding. It's just like a non-committal type of energy. This guy does not commit. And if he does commit, he only commits to people who he feels can give him a lot of things that he needs. That's the only reason why he would commit to someone. Like, say, for example, if the female has a lot of money, he may say, okay, he may make it official, you are my girlfriend. But of course, he will still be cheating on her behind her back, but he will put the face forward of saying, honey, you are my girlfriend, because women need titles, women need commitment, and men know this. And the only way this guy here, this crush of yours, is going to give any female commitment is if she can give him something that is more than what just sex, something more than normal. So money, status, if the woman is really popular and famous, or a celebrity, or she has a lot of contacts and networks. It's something like that, something shallow like that. That's the only reason why he would. Or if she's maybe really, she has a very, well, that's the same thing as status and money. I was going to say if she has a very prestigious job, if she's a doctor or something, that's status and money right there. So those are the only real reasons why he would commit to someone. If he has, mind you, this is a general reading. So if you're saying, well, he did ask me to be his girlfriend and I'm none of those things, this is a general reading. He may be saying that to you, but he's lying. He's just saying that to you because he wants to keep you around more permanently, more stably, because he likes you. He likes the sex. He likes you. So he wants to keep you around more stably, and perhaps you have made it clear that if you guys are making things official that you're not going to stay around. He may have pushed your boundaries a little bit, tested to see if he really needed to say those words, you are my girlfriend, for you to not stop talking to him. And if you realize that, okay, I actually need to say those words for her to stay around, then he's just going to say the words, but they're empty words. I guarantee you when he's not with you, he's with someone else. And if he's not answering his text messages or not picking up his phone, he's probably balls deep in some other woman. I'm being very graphic, but I want you to get this. Like, this is just ridiculous right now. And another thing is that you actually have the privilege. Sorry, my voice is a bit sore. Like, I've been talking a lot. This is the third group, and the other two groups were kind of long. You'd have the privilege here, and this is not me being any kind of high and mighty. This is a fact. Not everyone gets the privilege to have someone tell them at the beginning stages of a relationship that this person is a narcissist, a toxic philanderer, who will take advantage of you and who will cheat on you repeatedly, and who is a karmic partner. Not everyone has that luxury. So what happens for most people is that they waste time, energy, and money with these types of people for years before they learn this lesson on their own. And if you're coming to this reading, I titled it Crush. This means you're at the beginning stages with this person. It's only been maybe a month or just a few months of knowing them. You have the privilege right now to block their number and never talk to them again. This is the step that you need to make this decision on your own. I'm not going to twist your arm, but I have had I'm going to be very frank with you. The reason why I can read this energy very easily is because I've had this person in my life. This energy is very easy for me to read. And I kind of wish I had this reading at the beginning stages to tell me not to continue talking to him and not to continue overlooking all of the red flags, because he had a lot of red flags, but he was very good at gaslighting and with his words that it wasn't foolproof. I came out of it with a higher intuition though, so here I am with a much higher intuition, but I still had to go through this. So I'm being very frank with you right now. You have this privilege that I didn't have and that a lot of other women did not have. So this person is indeed a karmic partner here. We have the thinking woman next to the contract. Most of the times I think of the thinking woman as kind of like a merger between the Queen of Swords and the High Priestess. And definitely I'm seeing this here. This is actually a contract, a karmic contract here to get you to use and trust your intuition and your wisdom and your intelligence more. You guys have intuition naturally, you have wisdom, and you are smart. Even though you may not think that you are smart, you are smart, you are wise. This karmic partner is coming to get you to use your intuition, your wisdom, and your intelligence and rely on it and to trust it overall. Because this person, what they're doing is that they are sent here to sort of get you to second guess all of those attributes. And when you finally leave this person, you're going to realize how strong those attributes are in you, and you're going to trust them and rely on them much more. So if your intuition should have already been telling you that there's something wrong with this person. So here I am telling you, yes, your intuition was correct. There is indeed something wrong with this person. Yeah, and here conceals deep fears behind verbal and physical abuse. This person might actually be verbally and physically abusive by nature. If, of course, I'm assuming you're in the courting stages, the flirting beginning stages, because I entitled this reading Crush, not boyfriend or whatever, or girlfriend. So you probably have not experienced his verbal or physical abuse yet. If you do get into a relationship with him, you will experience one of them. It will either be verbal or mental manipulation, the way narcissists are good at doing, that kind of word salad gaslighting, or it may very well be physical abuse. It's going to be some sort of abuse that you're going to endure if you get into a relationship with this person. It could be mental, emotional, psychological, verbal, physical or sexual, a mixture of them. There you go. So also with that gambler card, relying on luck rather than hard work, this person does not put in hard work in relationships. They only put in hard work if it is required to keep someone who they need. And when I say need, I mean need because of superficial things. I'm really picking up money, status, networks, celebrity, something like that is only something that he or she would need. They don't need anything else. Sex, they can get a hooker. That's why I said I have a hard time believing that they're ever going to make it official with you if you are not a celebrity, or an heiress, or have a high-paying job, etc. So they kind of go with the flow, they go with the wind with that gambler card. If one girl or one guy says no, and finds out their red flags immediately and shuts the door in their face immediately and locks it, then they just move on to the next person. They forget that person ever existed. And they're going to just keep moving on to the next person until they find the person who puts up with their red flags but doesn't close and lock the door. So they're going to keep going in and out of that door. With this healer card being next to the gambler, this person takes advantage of empaths and broken people. And yes, I did call you a broken person. You have some wounds that need to be healed, and this person is like a vampiric energy who is feeding off of these wounds. Their shadow is feeding off of your shadow, and their shadow is feeding off of both your shadow and your light. They see your shadow and they see, okay, this person could be manipulated, but they need your light. So it's like they're draining you here. If you look at him, the healer, of course, in the upright, he's helping her. But in the shadow aspect, he's draining her energy. He's draining her life force here. So this person is a vampiric person who will drain your energy. And they like to prey on people who have some sort of trauma and who need healing. This person may very well be what's called an empathic narcissist, which you might want to look up. where they kind of do care and they do want to help, but there are conditions attached to the help that they give. So if he helps you out with some money, or he helps you maybe to get a job, or gives you a place to stay, or he helps you run errands because you don't have a car, or helps you, I don't know, babysit your kid, whatever. He likes helping, but he doesn't like helping just because he likes helping people. He likes helping because he likes the power that you need to have in order to help someone. If you help someone, you need to have some sort of power. That's just the way life works. You can't help someone unless you have the power to help them, unless you have some capacity that they need. If there's a beggar on the street and you're able to give them $2, that's because you have the power of having that $2 to give them. They do not have that $2. So you're in a position of power every time you give a beggar on the street some change. You're in that position of power. You don't take advantage of it. At least I don't think you guys do. You're not going to say, hey beggar on the street, I'll give you these $2 if you lick the floor. You're not going to say that. You're not going to do that. But essentially what this person is doing to you, and what he or she does to everyone, is essentially that, but just in a different form. Hey, I'll help you. I can help you, no problem. I have the resources that you need to be able to help you. However, you need to help me in some sort of way. And it's going to be to your detriment. He's going to be leeching off of your energy, and etc. There's going to be a lot of issues. It's going to be very toxic. And he needs to be able to bully you and control you in order to keep you around. All the while sleeping with other women behind your back, with the addict and the goddess. So yeah, here we have the storm warning card that's literally warning you. Literally warning you. We have the caring connections in reverse. Again, it appears as though he cares, but with it being in reverse, he has ulterior motives for caring. He doesn't truly care. There's still like a barrier of how much he or she could really care about someone else. He only cares to the capacity that he can help you and then use that as leverage and to have power over you. Here you need to detach from him. We have the attachment in reverse. We have the man holding a heart. We have the broken heart in reverse. We have a community card. This row was a little bit, I was kind of like, is this about you or is this about him? It appears to be about both of you guys, but just in switched directions. And I also want to mention that when I tried to clarify this, I pulled some tarot cards, and we're going to get to those in a second because it's crazy. But the tarot cards didn't really clarify this. It just kept screaming at me in a way. So, or you technically. So anyways, you need to detach from him. Don't be fooled by his lovey-dovey fake heart that he puts up. Attachment here, you have some sort of trauma that he's feeding off of. And you might have a poor attachment style when it comes to romantic partners. And I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm feeling a lot of heat around my hands right now on both of them. I think that you have some spirit guides or some ancestors, some passed on loved ones who are coming right now to make sure I give this message properly. Like it feels like people are holding, like someone's holding both of my hands right now. And yes, I do feel things, my spirit guides or whatever who help me, but this is almost like extra people. It's not just my spirit guides. It feels like more people came because I have heat on both sides of me. It feels like someone's holding both of my hands. Your spirit guides, your ancestors, you may have some passed on loved ones who are serious. They seriously want to save you from this because this is a road you do not have to go down. There are people who unfortunately need to go down this road to learn that karmic pattern. For you, it seems like you don't necessarily have to learn this karmic pattern. Like it's not really part of your life plan to learn it. Or maybe it was, but something happened. You made some sort of decision in the past that allowed you to get this kind of window of opportunity to get out quickly or faster. And they're coming here to help you to get this information so that you don't have to go through this anymore. It's kind of like, this might have been in your soul plan. If you don't learn this lesson by a certain point, then this guy or this girl is going to come into your life. But there's something that is making it so that this actually does not need to happen. It's like, I don't know, but it doesn't need to happen. That's what I'm saying. If it needed to happen, you would not be looking at this reading, and you would have picked a different pile or something if you did stumble upon this reading. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me just take another sip of water. So yeah, definitely. And also with this community card, I also see this as could be spirit guides or something. You guys definitely have some spirit guides or some ancestors who are trying to save you from going down this path, because it's not necessary, right? It's not necessary. Yeah, so you have some sort of trauma here. This guy's going to give you more trauma. See, you have the trauma before him, and then you have the trauma after him again. He's going to give you even more trauma. And if you kind of feel like he's going to help you get over this trauma, because like I said, he's good at like manipulating and sort of feigning like he cares. He's kind of like a fake empath. You might feel like, oh, I feel like he can help me. I feel like he can heal me. You know, he said he can help me. I feel like this is a good thing. It will work out in the long term. In the long term, you're actually going to leave the relationship with more trauma than you came in with. So, yeah, and another thing I'm picking up is also with him. I'm seeing him here as like, you know, the man holding a heart here with the community card is like someone, once again with the addict and the goddess, someone who just gives these watery type of fake love to multiple women simultaneously to get them to open up physically, if you know what I mean. And he has in the past left behind a lot of broken hearts. Have you tried inquiring? I mean, I'm not saying that you should try this. My advice to you and your spirit guides and your ancestors who are literally holding my hands are, your advice is to just block him completely. But I am asking, have you asked him or her about their ex? What reason did he or she give you that they broke up with their ex? Did it seem kind of fishy to you? Was there something that seemed off, or did they not want to talk about it? Or did it just seem like, oh, we were completely fine, we never fought, or nothing was wrong, we just drifted apart? Like something that seemed a little odd, and you're kind of like, oh, do you guys still talk? No. So you guys never fought, you guys were happy together, you just drifted apart, and you guys never text from time to time. Like if he told you something about his ex, you may have felt it intuitively because you guys are intuitive and you are wise. Again, with that, the thinking woman there, you guys are wise. You may have felt it that something was off about it. And I'm telling you here, he has left a trail of broken-hearted females in his wake. Okay? So that one of those females do not need to be you. If you do disregard this reading and your ancestors and spirit guides who are seriously here, if you do disregard this and you do get with him, I am seeing like, of course he's not going to change. This guy is not going to change. But I am seeing, what I did see with that kind of flippy thing is that you are going to be able to heal him a little bit. Because of your very high vibrational, empathic, stretched out aura abilities, because your aura is really large. It stretches out to multiple people simultaneously, even if you, of course, you don't realize it. If you do stay with him, you are going to affect him a bit for the better. So I feel like when you leave him, he will be slightly less toxic. He's not going to be, I'm not going to say he's going to be better. I'm just going to say he's going to be slightly less toxic. It's like if you have a glass filled with murky water, like mud water, and then you take 2 tablespoons and you take 2 tablespoons out, you have 2 tablespoons less of muddy, murky water. Technically, do you have clean water that you can drink? No, but it's less bad. So that's what will happen if you stay with him. He'll just be a bit less bad, but he'll continue his antics. So your ancestors and your spirit guides are adamant that this does not need to be you. And then the last thing I want to just go over before I end your reading is all of the tarot cards I pulled out when, when I was trying to clarify this, and it wasn't really, it was just continuing to basically yell at you. So we have the Lovers, and then we have the Eight of Swords. Okay, hopefully you guys know some tarot, so you see what I mean. Then your next card is the Eight of Wands. Then your card after that is Eight of Cups. Just for those of you who are not familiar with tarot, the Lovers, that's the two of you. Eight of Swords, you are trapped. He will trap you. See how he's in this coffin? The traditional depiction of Eight of Swords is someone tied up, blindfolded, with swords all around her. You could think of yourself as being tied up, or you could think of yourself as going into an early grave emotionally, if you stick with him. Then we have the Eight of Wands, which is fast movement, and we have the Eight of Cups, which is moving away to something much more spiritually fulfilling. So the cards are telling you to run. That's what those two cards mean. It means run. And don't look back. And the last two cards here, we have the Magician and we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. The male or the female you're inquiring about might be a Gemini with this card here, or an air sign. They're very intelligent, this person, but they're very witty. It's kind of like they're very sharp in a way. I don't care if they have a lot of book smarts or not. They are very sharp. So, and we have the Five of Pentacles here. This person's just going to be very manipulative. And even though it seems, or will seem to you, or it is right now, seeming like they're doing a lot for you or doing some things that may be helping you or that they could help you, it's just going to leave you depleted. Like, even if they say, for example, they help you with money, with the Five of Pentacles, you would think, okay, if we have the Magician and this person helps me with money and it works out, I should have a Six of Pentacles, I should have a Page of Pentacles, I should have an Eight of Pentacles, I should have a Nine of Pentacles, like, you know, but you have the Five. Yes, the Five is in reverse, but you still have a Five. So it's like, after all the money that he gives you, I'm just using money as an example, after all, because remember I said here, he has some sort of resource that might be able to help you with that healer card. He uses that in order to take from you, take your light from you, use you in some other way. So let's just use money as an example. Yeah, you might get the money, but then you're draining your life force here because you're still in this Five of Pentacle energy. It's flipped because you might have a few more bucks in your bank account, but your energy here again with that healer card is drained. Your aura is drained. There's going to be a lot of dark holes and rips and tears in there, and energetic cord attachments and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's going to be like someone who drinks poison and has to run to or rush to the emergency room, and they give them something to make them vomit it up. It's going to be like that. If you don't vomit it up, you're going to, well, be in a coffin. So, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's it. So those are your messages. I hope that helped you. I really hope it did, and I hope it resonated. Let me know if it did, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, pile number 4. Welcome to your reading. So what does your crush think of you? So you guys got more archetype cards than the other groups and than I intended to pull. And this group is actually the most confusing out of the 4 so far. And there appears to be some sort of split between you and your crush. Are they an ex you're inquiring about? Someone appears to be unavailable, and I think it's you. Either you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend right now, you're in a relationship with someone else and you're crushing on someone else, or the two of you were dating but you broke up and you're still crushing on them and you're wondering what they think of you. Because there's some sort of separation between the two of you, and there appears to be either distance, time, or another person, a third party in between you guys. You may work in a restaurant. I just want to throw that in there, because when I was trying to clarify, I had a vision of a guy sitting at a table and a waitress bustling back and forth, like giving him his food but not even looking at him, and just moving before he can say anything. So you guys may have met in a restaurant. And also I have the Two of Pentacles in reverse, and in this depiction of the card, he's actually a waiter. So you guys may have met in a restaurant, or you may work in a restaurant, but it's just symbolic because there's something about someone not noticing the other person. And then we have that Virgin card next to the Companion card. It's almost as if you guys are friends and nothing more. Guys, there's some sort of barrier between the two of you. It's a friendship barrier where you friend zoned them, or they friend zoned you. I'm assuming they're the ones who friend zoned you, since you're the one asking about your crush. But someone either friend zoned the other person, or you guys were dating and you broke up, or one of you guys has another romantic partner currently. So there's some kind of barrier here. So what does your crush think of you? Well, they think you're outrageously beautiful. First of all, we started off with the Goddess card. We also have the Child Divine card. They think you're very pure and innocent, and we do also have this Virgin card here. They see you as someone who is simultaneously sexual and very feminine, but also innocent and reserved. It's like perhaps it's the fact that you are very sensual and outgoing with your romantic partner if you're currently in a relationship with someone else. But when you're around this crush of yours, or this other guy, you are very reserved and covered up, and you keep barriers between the two of you guys. I'm going to be completely honest here. It's really coming off as if your crush is the one who's crushing on you, and you're not the one who's crushing on them. And it makes no sense, because the person coming to this reading has to be, it's supposed to be the one who's crushing on the other person. But maybe you guys are here because you know someone is crushing on you, but you're not crushing on them, and you're just curious to know what they think of you. Because I'm not seeing that you guys like this person more than a friend. Most of you guys have a romantic partner. You're in a relationship, and you know this friend of yours is crushing on you, or this acquaintance, and you're just curious to see how they see you. You're just purely curious, but I don't think you're interested in them. So yeah, that's what's making this reading kind of confusing, because it's more like I'm reading, it's like the opposite. It's not your crush, it's the crush, the guy or the girl, the other person who's crushing. So here, and I just pulled the Eight of Swords. Someone is otherwise engaged. And look, underneath the deck here, we have the Lovers card. Guys, someone is in a relationship. This is some sort of third party thing happening here. Either you're not supposed to be asking this question because the person you're crushing on is committed in a relationship. They might be in a committed relationship. They might be married. So either you're not supposed to be asking this or even looking at this person, or you're in a relationship and you're not even supposed to care what someone else thinks about you. There's something here that's kind of forbidden, and you guys are separated. There's like a schism here. So this reading is kind of confusing. Someone might be hoping that someone leaves their husband or their wife for someone else, or leaves their boyfriend or girlfriend for someone else. We have that Walking Away card in reverse, and we have the Attachment card in reverse. Again, with the Eight of Swords, which is kind of like that Attachment card. Someone is otherwise attached to someone else or something else, but it feels very much like a third party. Someone in this relationship does not like the other person as much as one person likes them. So you need to figure out who that is. If you are absolutely head over heels for this person, then I'm sorry, but your crush doesn't really like you. Like, they like you as a friend, but they don't like you more than that. I'm going to be honest. But if it's the opposite, where you don't really care much for this person, then the person you're inquiring about absolutely is like taken aback by you. They are very, very into you. So you would have to make it resonate whichever way it goes. Whoever is the one who really likes the other person and is obsessed with the other person, then the other person is barely thinking about that person and just sees them as a friend and sees them as nothing more. Someone in this partnership is also giving the other person a headache and anxiety. I pulled the Six of Pentacles here. Underneath the deck, I had the 10 of Wands, and I pulled the 5 of Cups. This is someone is an ex, or someone is waiting for someone to leave their partner. Someone is waiting for someone to give them more of their time and their commitment. Someone may be in a kind of sugar daddy relationship where the guy pays you or pays the girl, or even it could be the other way around where the woman pays the guy. They have a roll around in the hay and then they leave. They part ways, and then the person who paid the person goes back home to their wife or their husband and their family. If there's some sort of monetary exchange here, the person who's giving the money sees you as a friend and a sexual companion and nothing more. I pulled here before I started your reading, I pulled the 10 of Cups and the Queen of Cups. And then I also pulled here the 8 of Cups and the Knight of Swords. Someone here has their feelings all in this. Someone here is delusional. I'm going to be honest. That's why I always put those disclaimers at the beginning of my videos. I'm not going to lie. Someone here is delusional, and it might be you. It's most likely the female. This is a general reading, so make it resonate. But someone here is delusional. Someone here is fantasizing about starting a family, and the other person is occupied with the 8 of Cups and the Knight of Swords. Some person might be giving lip service with that Knight of Swords. Quite frankly, the first time around here, I was picking up like that they weren't. I think there are like kind of 2 subgroups here, or there are multiple subgroups here. First of all, it depends on who is who, right? That subgroup, or those 2 groups. And then within that, there are like, there's one group here who it's kind of like a very transactional exchange. Whether or not there's money exchange, there's something very transactional about your intimacy. And then with the other subgroup, someone gives lip service. They tell you what you want to hear, but they have absolutely no intentions of leaving their wife or their husband for you, or being with you full time, or getting into a full-time relationship with you. And look, as soon as I said that, I pulled the Empress card here. Someone is married. One of you guys are married. One of you guys are in a committed relationship. This relationship does not need to be happening. Neither of you need to be, neither of you need to be worried about, and look, I pulled that 8 of Pentacles, and actually underneath the deck, the Empress came out again. Because before I had split the deck and I got the Empress, and I shuffled, I got the 8, and then the Empress came underneath the deck. Someone might be having marital problems. As a result, they came to see the other person. They engaged in coitus multiple times. The other person caught some feelings. And they are waiting for that person to break up fully and officially with their romantic partner or their spouse. But that person who is married is still working on their marriage here. Eight of Pentacles, hardly they're working. While they're going behind their back and relieving themselves with you, they are also simultaneously working with their spouse, especially if they have a child involved. They are not 100% out of that relationship. Even though it has gone a little cold, they are still invested in that relationship. Here I pulled the Hierophant card. Guys, someone's married. I think I'm going to end this reading pretty soon. Someone's married. Someone's married. Here. Someone, if they're not married, they're in, because this is a general reading, they're in a committed relationship and they may have a child. And the other person doesn't. The person who is married and in the relationship and has a child or has a romantic partner, a long-term romantic partner, is the one who is not infatuated, who is not crushing on the other person. The other person's crushing on that person. And I just pulled the Knight of Swords again. Someone, it might be giving a lot of lip service. So this, because this is a general reading and it's a lot of people watching this, I'm picking up a few different subgroups. Like I said, some of you guys is very transactional. This person did not give you, or you did not give this person, any false hope. But others of you, this person did give you false hope with the things that they were saying. I just heard that song by Tattoo, all the things you said, running through my head, running through my head, running through my head. This is not enough. And then then the Russian part says, I need her, I love her. Yasashla Suma. So someone needs the other person. They're saying, this is not enough. Yasashla Suma, I really need this person. And the other person's like, nah. We're not doing this, because once again, underneath the deck, when I shuffled it again, we have the Hierophant. Nah, I can't do this because I am committed. And furthermore, underneath the Hierophant, nah, I can't do this because not only am I committed, but I'm still working on it. And underneath that, I kid you not, we have the Ten of Pentacles. I'm hoping that my relationship could get back to the way it was when we first got together. I'm hoping I can renew my marriage. So yeah, there you go. And someone here, like I said, or some subgroup of you guys, this is an ex who may or may not be in a relationship, but the fact is that they're your ex and they have moved on. Even if they haven't moved on with another person, they are moved on. So they're not thinking about you if this is an ex, regardless of whether or not they have someone else. Because here I'm picking up with that Avenger card next to the Gambler. It's kind of like someone is hoping to pick something back up, to make something start again, to avenge a relationship that they feel should not have ended as soon as it did. And with that Gambler card, it's like they're hoping that the person's going to come back to them, or they're hoping that the person's going to change their mind and come back to them. They're trying to get their ex back. And with that Judge there and Storyteller, again, I'm seeing someone telling themselves some sort of delusional story. And there's a lot of justice again with that Avenger and that Judge card. Someone wants some sort of justice. Maybe this was a messy relationship, someone cheated on the other person, you guys broke up, and someone might want justice because maybe they're only here because they want to find out if that person is still crushing on them, to kind of have some sort of justice over them. Like, you see, you treated me badly and I left you, and now you have to deal with the emotional consequences. But there's some sort of justice that someone needs here. Either because someone was, like I said, paying lip service and saying, yeah, I'm going to leave my wife, don't worry about it, and they never did. And now this person wants justice or revenge. Or someone, I don't know, broke someone's heart, or didn't commit when they said they were going to commit. Or someone said they were going to be with someone forever and then they broke up with them. There's some need for, someone needs justice here. I just pulled here the Ace of Wands. So this tells me two things. Some of you guys are really in just a sexual relationship with that Wands energy. Some of you guys were. It broke off and you're hoping you can reignite it again. But I'm not seeing anything more than just friendship and sex for this relationship. So I'm going to pretty much leave the reading there. Those are your messages. I hope that helped you. Hope it resonated. Let me know if it did, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, pal number 5. Welcome to your reading. So what does your crush think of you? So I'm going to try to keep your reading a bit shorter than the other ones. My throat is starting to, well, it is really sore. And if any of you guys have any advice on how to talk for a long period of time and not get a super sore throat, I would be happy to hear it in the comment section. But quite honestly, I'm not sure you would want to talk to me after I tell you this. So let's get to it. What does your crush think of you? So how do I say this? Okay. You know those movies where, okay, you know Pretty Woman? Your crush thinks of you as that movie, Pretty Woman, with Julia Roberts. He thinks of you as a person who has a lot of light inside of them, that can come out if they are given the right nurturing. However, they see you as someone who has a self-sabotatory way of achieving their finances. And I did have to pull out your underdeck energy for the archetype cards when I saw it. And this was your underdeck energy. So, I mean, I'm sure you know this. This can't be new news to you. Your person sees you as someone who is money hungry and who uses people of the opposite sex to get their way, to get a leg up financially. We have the financial constraints card in reverse, and we have woman holding a coin here. You have financial issues. You come from a background of financial issues. In fact, you come from a household of financial issues. We have this child orphan card here, which actually technically came out in reverse. For the archetype cards, I don't put them out in reverse, even if they do come out, but I did really notice that one, and it was important because here it says feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation, seeking inappropriate surrogate families. You guys were abandoned in some manner when you were a child. In some manner, you felt abandoned or betrayed. Now you're seeking these inappropriate surrogate families in the company of people who have questionable morals. And I do see that here with the community card. I did see it immediately here. With these 4 cards here, I'm seeing you hanging around a group of women who have, and men, who have very strong questionable morals, who are very low on the moral scale. So we start off with thief and saboteur. Again, they see you as someone who self-sabotages, someone who has a lot of potential, because here with the thief and the light attribute, it says sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. So they see you as someone who has potential. They see you as having potential. There's something about you that you're smarter than these people you hang out with. You're smarter than the industry that you're in. You're smarter than the games that you play. but you are not using your talents correctly. This is also reminding me of Catch Me If You Can, that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. It's different. It's not related to sex, but he was extremely intelligent. The person DiCaprio was playing, that real life person, was extremely intelligent, but what did he use his intelligence to do? To con the bank and the government. So it's kind of like that, but on a smaller scale and with a lot of sexual exploitation involved. Now, because this is a general reading, the degree of the sexual exploitation might vary. Some of you guys might be literal prostitutes or strippers, actually giving services directly for money. Others of you might be engaging in a lot of sugar daddy, sugar baby relationships that are kind of more ambiguous, where it's, yes, there's technically an exchange, but it's not super direct like with prostitution. And others of you are just pretending you're getting into relationships with people and pretending that you like them just to get them to pay stuff for you and to do things for you. And you may have several males or females on your phone contacts who you call. You may have one person you text to get your rent paid, another person you text to get your car insurance paid, another person you text to, to give you a ride if you don't have a car, another person you text to get you clothes, another person you text for your school tuition. Is this kind of energy that's in this group right here. So your crush actually they definitely see all of this. Just in case you think that they don't see this, because this is a general reading, if you feel like they don't know this about you, that you do these things, they know. But for most of you guys, it's kind of obvious to you that they know this, because with all of this here, it's very much in the open. And quite frankly, I feel like you met them whilst doing or engaging in some, transaction. And then you guys got to talking, and maybe you exchanged numbers and you kept in contact, and maybe now you're starting to crush on them a bit more. They're less of a meal ticket, and now you're starting to crush on them a bit more. So you're kind of wondering, hey, what do they think of me? So they see you as someone who's capable of receiving love and giving love, with the Angel of Love card here in reverse. And with the fifth chakra, though, next to it, it's like I'm seeing you not really living your life purpose and not being true to yourself, who you truly are. You're just trying to survive right now, when you're doing what you feel you need to do to survive. And with the Angel of Love here in reverse, it's like you are manipulating people. You're manipulating people. It is those stemming from heartbreak, again, with this card in reverse and the Orphan card. There's definitely something that happened in your childhood. This is very typical story, novel, television series, movie. It's that very typical storyline, like a Pretty Woman kind of thing. I can't remember if she had problems growing up in her childhood, if she mentioned it in the movie. I only watched that movie one time years ago, but it's just that very typical storyline. Someone had some issues in their childhood with the child orphan card here, and now they have a lot of love that was suppressed or taken advantage of. So then they suppressed it as an adult. They went into the adult and entertainment industry and are pretending to be someone who they are not, hanging around people who only care about money and lining their pockets, and conning these guys who are not really aware of the con. Did you see Hustler? The Hustler movie? It's like that. So you guys are reminding me of the Hustler movie, of Pretty Woman, even Catch Me If You Can. Those are the three movies that are coming into my mind for you guys. So your crush, like I said, he or she sees all of this. He or she knows all of this. They do, though, see you as someone who has potential to do more with your life. They actually do. And I'm not just saying this to be nice. If I didn't see this, I wouldn't tell you this. That's not the kind of reader I am, which is why I always put those disclaimers at the beginning of the reading. But I do see it, because here we have the Prince card, and next to that we have the Child Divine card, and I actually clarified those And for the, was this the prince? Oh, I can't remember anymore. No, this was the child divine clarification. For the child divine clarification, I got the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, the 8 of Cups, and the World. So definitely something stemming from your childhood here. Not a lot of financial stability in your childhood at all. Okay. Also, probably not a lot of emotional support. Maybe some emotional abuse here. At some point, you guys probably left home when you were a teenager. If you weren't completely orphaned from the get-go, you left home, most of you guys, as a teenager before you were a full adult and went on your own. And again, that's reiterated with the World card here. But also with the World card, I am seeing once again that he or she, this crush of yours, does feel that you have potential to take your skills and move it elsewhere into the world, to do something better with it. Again, very like that Hustler movie energy. Those girls were very smart. If they had taken their smarts and did something more productive with it, they wouldn't have ended up in jail or paid that hefty fine that some of them paid. And also same with Catch Me If You Can, that movie. So they see you as having potential to do something else. But clarifying that child divine energy is also kind of like the child orphan energy. There's some issue here from your childhood to do with finances, lack of stability, and emotional support. And then I clarified the prince because I was like, you know, this is supposed to be about you. Is that about him? Like, what's going on? Or your crush, whether it's a he or she, you make the energies resonate for you. But I am seeing, of course, a female, and the crush, I'm seeing him as a male, of course. So here we have the Hermit in reverse. We have the 9 of Cups in reverse, and we have the Sun. So the Sun, this is very positive, guys. This is like the most positive card in the entire tarot deck. So clarifying the Prince with the Hermit in reverse and the 9 of Cups in reverse. I'm seeing this as someone who has potential to be very happy and very self-fulfilled. Again, with the Sun card here, someone who has a lot of happiness, love, joy in them. Again, with that Angel of Love card in reverse, it's trapped. They see it as trapped. They can see through you, this person, this crush of yours. They can see through you. Whereas most guys you deal with can't see through you. They just fall for your bull crap. This guy can see through you. They can see actually into your soul. And they see the joy. May have been some times where you let down your guard with them. So, you know, maybe you were on some calls with them and you stayed longer, or maybe like he paid you to stay longer and you guys were just talking, chatting, eating, laughing and stuff, you know, and he was able to feel you out and see that you actually have a lot of light and happiness in you. Some of you guys have a lot of goals for the future, or you at least did have some dreams here with this World card here. But he does see you as having potential to be emotionally fulfilled and to have a happy, fulfilling life. But with this Hermit card in reverse, you need to find the love that you didn't get in your childhood. You need to find that in yourself. You're not going to find it from anyone else. If you don't find the love first in yourself, you're just going to keep attracting situations and people, whether that be friends, co-workers, business partners, or romantic partners. You're just going to keep attracting people who will take advantage of you and who will treat you like crap. Essentially treat you like just for their bottom line, whether their bottom line is sex or money or power or something. You're going to keep attracting people who are going to take advantage of you and just use you for their bottom line and then leave you. So, you know, and though the rest of you, of course, this is a general reading. Some of you guys, you don't work in the adult entertainment industry at all. But what you have a tendency to do is to sell yourself cheap to romantic partners. So anything that your romantic partners want you to do, you'll do it for them. Anything that they say, any crap that they throw your way, you'll take it. So, you know, this may not be, like I said, adult entertainment industry, but you have a tendency to prostitute yourself with your boyfriends or your girlfriends. So they can use you, they can discard you, they could maybe physically abuse you, verbally abuse you, emotionally abuse you, sexually abuse you, and you'll still go back to them and allow them to do this. So you need to find the love that you're missing. You need to find it in yourself, because you're just going to keep attracting these low energy vampires. And actually the vampire card from the archetype was actually, I think, underneath the prostitute. Let me double check. Yeah, there we go. It was underneath the prostitute, and underneath that we have child magical. So you do have a potential for beauty and to do a lot of things, you know. We have 3 child cards here coming out. And again, that reiterates some sort of wound from your childhood, but it also once again reiterates the fact that you, deep down, you actually are innocent. These kind of situations were kind of thrusted upon you, and deep down you actually are a very kind-hearted person with a lot of potential. Once again, like I said, I'm not making this up to make you feel better. I'm reading the cards and the energy, and I'm telling you the truth. I'm not just saying that to make you feel better. And like I said, again, with that vampire card, if you don't heal this, you're just attracting vampires. The good news is this guy, this person you're crushing on, is not a typical vampire. He's actually some sort of karmic partner who you luckily met, who is going to help you, or he wants to help you. But you need to let him help you. So you need to not use him. You need to not try to con him. You need to allow him to help you. You need to accept his help. You need to be open to his help. I feel like he's going to help you do a lot of healing here. You guys are not going to be together forever, but some sort of assistance that he gives you is going to help you, or is going to propel you on your healing path, your healing journey. And by the time you guys separate, you're going to be in a better place emotionally and even financially when you guys separate. So yeah, he's like a prince for you, a prince in shining armor. He himself may not be perfect, because quite frankly, if he called an escort, he's not perfect himself. Or if he went to the strip club and he found you there, he's not perfect himself. But what I can say is that he's better than the bulk of those men who go there, the bulk of those men who you deal with usually. And he's genuine in trying to help you. I did at one point kind of pull the King of Wands when I split the tarot deck. So he has the drive and the ambition to help you succeed and to help you heal. And look, underneath the deck here we have the Ace of Cups. He wants to give you some emotional rejuvenation. He wants to help you heal. He wants to help you get back on your feet financially. He wants to help you separate from these people. I'm really surprised this community card didn't come out in reverse. But he wants to help you separate from these toxic friends of yours and these toxic co-workers. There are some people around you who are dragging you down, who are low vibrational. You need to separate yourself from them. He wants to help you to do that. Okay, let's see finally if there's any last thing that wants to come out before I close out your reading. This reading ended up being pretty much almost as long as the other ones anyways. Despite my sore throat, 8 of Pentacles, he wants to work on it with you. He really wants to work on it with you. He seems very stable, like he might be an earth sign. He's coming off as an earth sign or a water sign. I know I did see the King of Wands, but I'm picking up someone very practical, like the earth, or someone very empathic, like a water. But whatever, he can be any sign. Here, look at this. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Like I said, remember we had the Ace of Cups. I told you he wants to help you heal your trauma, and he also wants to help you heal your finances here. He wants you to stop sabotaging yourself when it comes to your financial stability and your emotional stability. This is the card of sabotage or making bad decisions. And we also have the Saboteur card there. So this is a reiteration of that. And the thief is more of the 7 of Swords, but he wants you to stop, to get out of this energy. And you also need to stop hanging around these people, whether this is probably where you work or your friends. Lovers and the Eight of Swords, you have a tendency to pick up lovers who abuse you and use you. Seriously. So like I said, if you do not work in the adult entertainment industry, this just means that all of the romantic partners you choose use you like you are a prostitute. And you allow them to do that. So, even if you're not technically in the adult entertainment industry, you yourself may be the one who is using your romantic partners for financial gain. So you're playing multiple men or multiple women at the same time. So it's any of those variations for you guys. This is a general reading. And he wants to help you to get out of that entrapment when it comes to these low-level connections. And he wants to open you up to getting a high-level connection. For some of you guys, because this is a general reading, this guy could actually be serious about actually being with you in a real relationship. But for most of you guys, I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing that he's more of a friend with benefits, but a friend who's actually going to genuinely help you out. A really good friend. But for some of you with that Lover's card coming out, he may be more interested in something more long-term with you. Here we have the Death and the Ten of Pentacles. He wants you to transform that Ten of Pentacles in reverse here. That stemmed from your childhood, the child orphan card. He wants to turn you into a queen here that you are. You guys are very beautiful. We have the queen holding a coin here, and we have another queen here. You guys are very beautiful. So he sees you as being very beautiful. He wants to help you transform the Ten of Pentacles in reverse energy into the Ten of Cups upright. So it's less to do about finances and more to do about your emotional fulfillment, but it's honestly both. It's both, because they're tied to each other. But you can't hang on to your finances and your stability unless you heal the trauma and you love yourself and you commit yourself to having a loving and self-fulfilling life. So he wants to help you do that. So this is a karmic partner. Definitely a karmic partner. And I feel like you have an ancestor. This is the second group where I feel like I have more spirit guides around me, because I'm feeling heat on both sides of my hands and on my arms, and it's more intense than usual. So this is the second group where I feel like, in addition to my own spirit guides, your spirit guides and or ancestors are also here trying to help you get out of this toxic pattern that you are in. Because especially if they're your ancestors, they probably contributed to this pattern. Because if you had a tumultuous childhood here with that orphan card, we got 3 child cards, remember, and the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, and also the Eight of Cups next to that, you having to leave early. If you had some sort of tumultuous upbringing, it's probably because you had toxic parents. And if you had toxic parents, it's probably because either one of your parents or both of them had toxic parents themselves, etc., etc., etc. So you have ancestors here in your reading who really are trying to help you get out of this horrible cycle. Because if you don't get out of this cycle, you're just going to continue this. It's like a generational curse. You're just going to continue this generational curse down the line when you have children yourself. So they want to help you break out of this. And they are definitely here in this reading giving support. So they are going to support you. This guy is indeed a karmic partner who's going to help you. For most of you guys, this is not going to be a long-term relationship. This is going to be a best friend with benefits. But for some of you guys, this may end in marriage with that Lover's card. But all of you guys will be happy that you met this guy. So give him a chance. Don't play him. Don't play him. Don't steal from him. Don't try to break his heart. Listen to him. You know, when he gives you advice and says you should do something, you should do it, especially if he's going to help you to do it. For example, if he says you should quit your job and you're like, I can't quit my job, I don't have another one. If he says, I'll get you a job here instead, or I'll pay your bills in the meantime until you can find another job, just listen to him. Even if the money he gives you is less than you make in this massage parlor or wherever, even if the money you make is less, you still need to listen to him and take it. And your ancestors are urging you to listen to him as well, and to listen to your own intuition, to listen to them when they speak to you, and to listen to me because they're speaking through me to you. So I'm going to end here before I completely lose my voice. Those are your messages. I hope that helped you. Hope it resonated. Let me know if it did. And I will see you in my next reading.